What's up, YouTube? It is Mr. Ferguson back once again here from Central North Carolina. Thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate you clicking on the video. If you enjoy it, please give it a like. Help it get out to other people. We're going to do several things in the lawn today, but before we do anything, we're going to give you some updates on the project lawn as we go along. If you didn't see the last two videos that I've posted, we've got some new plugs in the ground. We sprayed some weed killer. We did some pre-emergent. We did some Milorganite, and we've cooled back down since we've done that work. So the Bermuda is in place. I feel good about getting those extra plugs in early, and we'll really have to hit it with some fertilizer when it gets hotter. And when we start dealing with fungus here, that's really when we're going to start looking at the warm season grass over there. So we'll keep you posted on that, but all is in place. There's some weeds over there I really need to take care of, probably with like a bottle of, if there was a bottle of specticide or kills all, basically like a hand squirt bottle going in between the rows. That's kind of what I need to do next. So hopefully I'll be able to get to that. But otherwise, we're just going to let those keep watering it. I was watering it for an hour or so at church last night. Water the plant, get some Milorganite, a little bit of nitrogen. Even from where I mowed it last time, we've got that Bermuda already starting to come up. So warmer temps are on the way. We're going to head back up into the mid 80s here in North Carolina. But right now, it is a cool 30s, high 30s right now. We did an up and down mow, but man, my lawn has it is just that glorious spring Masters season, you know, golf tournament. I mean, that just look at this view. The camera doesn't do it justice when you hear the birds chirping and the sun on your face and the grass is perky and fertilized and looking good. I really love this Japanese maple tree. I like coming out and looking at it, even when I come out here to film. But my turf type tall fescue here in my lawn is looking just phenomenal. But we got a couple things that we want to do today. One of them is kind of piggybacking off of what Pete has talked about in recent videos on his channel. But I did click on one of Pete's, and he did bring forth this idea that I need to do this, which I'd previously mentioned, but now I was like, okay, Pete's doing it. I need to go do this too. And it's the first thing we're going to do. So I'm going to grab some items. I'm going to come back and we're going to tackle our first task right over here by the side of the house. So let's do that right now. All right, so hopefully you guys can see me, and hopefully you can also see right here in front of the water hose area. This is one of the things I need to tackle today. Not a major job, very simple job. It's just taking the time to do it. We've been talking a lot about Velocity PM here on my channel. For anybody just tuning into this video, go back and watch previous videos. I've had Poa annua, I've had Poa triv in my lawn, and I've also had purchased over a year ago the new Velocity PM herbicide, which is supposed to actually suppress and kill Poa annua and Poa trivialis, a cool season weed in a cool season lawn. Very high technology involved in that, because for years we've not had that in lawn care. It was like, hey, you're kind of up a creek, man. You just kind of got to wait, bag your mows and deal with it, or kill off that entire section and replant and hope it don't come up again. And that's kind of where we were. Now we have a chemical called Velocity PM, which is highly expensive, which is one of the reasons we don't recommend it. It's because it's $500+ in most areas. The Velocity PM has decimated the Poa triv in this area of my lawn. And it did it in such a cool way, because it doesn't just look around here. Look how gorgeous the turf type tall fescue is looking. But right here, the Velocity PM has taken out this Poa triv, which has been here for years, and I've seen it, and it just kind of a blend in. I didn't really care, but I didn't really have anything to take it out with. I have killed off some of this and replanted, and it comes back because I always miss some. But you'll see the Velocity PM really just kind of after the second application, the first one, it kind of made it look a little injured, but now it's really just decimated it. So what I want to try to do here this morning, and for you guys to demonstrate, is I just want to try to put some seed here. So I'm going to rake this just a little bit. Excuse me, I just had a chicken biscuit before walking out here. But I'm going to try to just rake this a little bit, use our garden weasel to break up the pre-emergent we've put down in this area. We're going to put some seed down, blend it together, and we're just going to water it as we go. And so just trying to replace the Poa triv with some good seeds. So that's the whole objective here. But you can see it's mainly, it was just this one little section right here where we had the triv. So I'm just going to get dirt here, as Pete says, and I'm just going to seed this area, you know. I was standing here. Some of this is good fescue, but any of the dead trivialis is probably just going to come out right here. And we may need to look at, let's see, last Friday, I want to say it's almost, I think tomorrow actually will be 2 weeks, and we're clear to do a third app if we need it. I don't think I need it, but we'll look at this. But I'm exposing the dirt here, so that's all you want to do. And I got to already see dirt in some of this, and hopefully it will continue to die out. Obviously, as the temps warm, it's all, you know, naturally going to die out. So I'm just taking a little bit of GCI turf type tall fescue seed, and I'm just going to sprinkle that within this. And obviously I'm trying not to get it in the rocks over here, but I want seed to soil contact. So I'm just sprinkling that over here. And again, why rake it while you're exposing the ground? The garden weasel can also do this. But I also, you know, we got pre-emergent, so we got to think about that. We want to, at my best. Now, some of this is probably fescue mixed in, but right here, definitely where I'm at right now, if you can see that, and hopefully you can, hope my camera angle is not bad, just blending this in a little bit, pushing it a little bit in there. There we go. Not perfect. And some of this, and this is one of those jobs where you're like, well, Mr. Ferguson, that's a terrible job. I don't agree with that. Like, should have done it. It's fine. Like, this is just an attempt that it's possible. Maybe this is again, the same thing Pete said. He's right. Like, this should have been done in March. Like, but with the schedule that we had to keep for Velocity PM, that made it a little difficult. I could have probably done this just a little bit earlier, but why not seed? If it comes up and some of this survives, great. Your seeding should be done in fall, but there's cases like this. If you've got holes, if you got areas you want to try to get some seed to come up and give it a shot, why not give it a shot? And it does totally depend on your location. So once we have this in, we've kind of blended that in there, and I see right here where it is the main area that is bare is this right side right here, and I can see seed down there. So with these cooler mornings, but we do have 80s coming, so I don't know if the seed's gonna do anything or not. We'll find out. But again, this is just something that we know. We took out the poatriv. Now, hopefully next year, the big thing is we don't deal with poatriv here when we come into fall. If we decide to do fall overseeding, this is an area we need to remember, hey, let's make sure we seed this pretty well. But we're looking at possibly not doing a fall overseeding and maybe doing fall pre-emergent. So I don't know. We'll see how this goes, but that's it. It took 2 seconds, and all of your Velocity PM, for anybody else out there, I would go around your Velocity PM areas. Maybe you got some areas where really you hit it hard and it died off. Grab your seed, grab your rake out some of the dead, grind up, expose the dirt, put your seed into the soil, cover that bad boy, push it with your cultivar tool back into the soil, and then water it a little bit as you come out. Try to hit it with some water. There you go. Too easy. All right, so there is a reason why I wanted to get that done first, and that is the only area that I did put seed down. But again, if you've used Velocity, and several of you have told me you've purchased it, you went with a neighbor and shared it, this is what I'm doing. And there's no guide to tell me that. I didn't watch any videos, but when you're taking out some grass, something's going to take its place, right? And the pre-emergent, if you don't do this, should, I think in my mind, your pre-emergent, if you put that down with your Velocity, you know, kind of mixed in together over time, then when it dies out, I don't think anything should come up in its place. I would think the pre-emergent would help there, but I broke that up, put some good seed there. Hopefully we can take the place, the weeds won't come up and the good grass will. So that's my hopes. But secondly, I was watching there's a newer YouTube channel, and I apologize. I think the guy's name's Greg Phillips. I'm not sure. He's got more viewers than myself. He's got more subscribers, I should say. He's a newer YouTube, but he's a professional. He's a NC State lawn care professional, if you will. And I apologize if he's watching because I don't have his title and I came unprepared with all of that information. So I do apologize. But clearly, I'm a sucker for the professionals because they know this stuff. They went to school for it. They put money into the education for lawn care. And so he was basically, long story short, his video that I watched, I think on Saturday, he's like, you need two things to make your lawn look pretty good: a weed and feed. And he was talking about Scott's or Stay Green. Actually, I think he said Stay Green, like 1900 weed and feed. And then the other thing was grub control. And I said, you know what? And I know both these things, but I've not done any grub control probably in 2 years. There's the season-long grub killer, and then there's the 24-hour grub killer. So let's say you're having problems. Number one, with the 24-hour grub killer, that is for immediate, I've got an issue in my lawn. Now, I have had that. I've shared this story. Over here, when I first planted, over here on the right-hand side, I knew nothing about grubs. I just planted my GCI turf grass for the first time, and I had what I call crop circles. So if you walk your lawn and you see your lawn, like right now, my lawn everywhere is like perfectly manicured. Where I mowed it, it's all evenly cut, and it looks great. But if you have areas where the grass looks decent, but man, it's like half an inch, shorter, and there's like circles, or there's like patches. There's patches of that could likely be grubs underneath the soil munching on the roots of your grass. It's stunning the growth of your grass while everything else is growing up. You've got these little patches where the grass is not growing. Like, why is this grass growing normal, but I've got these little patches that's shorter? Like, that don't make sense. It's the grubs. The grubs can munch it. Now, I have heard Alan Haynes say that in spring, when we fertilize, we're so aggressively growing in spring that you can have grubs munching on your grass underneath the surface, and we're so aggressively growing you won't even notice. So I have heard him say that. And of course, Alan Haynes was with True Green for many years and does his own thing now. But what I have purchased over here, and I'll again share over here or lean you guys over, is I've done the actual season-long grub killer. I think when we were digging up, maybe we were doing the sod. Remember when I did the Japanese maple a couple weeks back, and we dug up the good grass right here, and I transferred it over here. We took out some of the POA and put the good plugs in, right? I think when we did that, my wife said, hey, there's a grub. We saw one out of that whole strip. We saw one grub, but there was a grub, I think she saw. Knowing that and just hearing her, I was like, no big deal. It's spring. But hearing this professional from NC State say this, to get, people that are doing the bare minimum, basically. I've not done grub control. Do I think you need to do grub control every single year? Probably not. I don't know. It's up to you as your homeowner, but I don't do it every year, but it's been a couple years. And so I am going to put Grub X. This is the one product. Actually, there's a couple products I like from Scott's. I don't like their spreaders. They're terrible, but I do like their Grub X. I like their 24-hour Bio Advanced 24-hour grub killer is the other one that we've talked about plenty on my channel, but their Grub X season long is pretty good. And as he described, when you put this in, you water this into the grass, the grubs munch on the grass, and when they start munching on it, it infects them and kills them and gets rid of them, right? Grubs, these white grubs, if you don't know, turn into June bugs. So these beetles. So if you're seeing a lot of beetles around your house, then guess what? You've got a grub problem. The other thing with grubs that I remember from listening to Alan Haynes and other professionals is when you get these Japanese or June bugs, they like to stay in a certain circumference perimeter of where they are hatched from or come from. So as your white grubs begin to turn into June bugs, they don't go far from the nice lawn. So if you're seeing a lot of beetles in your area, that means you likely have a white grub issue. And if you have a white grub issue, you need to do some grub control in your lawn. It is worth the money. You can get this at Lowe's, Home Depot. I got mine on Amazon, had it shipped to the house. This is a 10,000 square feet. Treats 10,000. I'm just going to put it all down. I don't see an issue with that. This is not going to change the color of your lawn or anything. It's for what is happening underneath the biology of the soil, right? And with this absorbing into the plant and helping with the grubs that are under there in the dirt munching. And again, they call them June bugs because they transform into the beetle. Larva goes to the beetle in the June month. So we're getting close. We've had these warm 80-degree days. So I think that may have pushed that timeline a little bit further because we have seen some of those beetles. So this is why I would do and if you can do exactly what I've just done today, go ahead and go around, do your seating areas where you want to do that. Then I'm going to turn around and do my Grub X. I'm going to spread that in my residential earthway, which I have still love this thing, have no regrets about it. It is absolutely perfect. It's got real rubber wheels, and it is that you pump up with air. It has been fantastic, a breath of fresh air from the Scott's. If you got a Scott's spreader, I'm telling you, we got a link in the description for the Earthway Residential. It's a little more pricey, but guess what? I know this bad boy with the latch that goes open and shut. I don't have to worry about that stinking spring, and it works, and I love it, and I never have a problem with it. Had it for multiple years now, and we're still going strong. So I'm going to spread the Grub X in my lawn to just help with that. It's not a, quote, sexy application because, again, there's no surface change, but it does need to be watered in. And while we're watering in, any of your seating areas, you can water those as well, right? So that's why I would do those first. So guys, the most important part of doing a Grub application is definitely going to be this right here, which is the water. So let's see if this is going to be set up. It is windy. And again, we've not had a lot of rain here in central North Carolina, so we could use water, a lot of it. So depending on your rain situation, you may want to let this set for a good while and water your turf. Water is what's going to activate this stuff. So make sure, do what you need to do prior. That's what I like to do. I don't like to, quote, waste, well, let me just water in the Grub X and then do something else and have to water that. That's dumb. Like, let's do everything we can, and then let's do our final watering. And if you got an irrigation system, super easy. So there we have it. So I'm just going to move the sprinkler around. I'm going to give it some water. We're expecting 80. So if you're in North Carolina and you're like me, it is a good time to try and go ahead and, quote, store up your water banks in the soil. I've already seen on my bank, I've already seen signs of stress from my fescue. And that was in very early April, right before Easter. And I already had to come out here and set the sprinklers out. There is no rain in our foreseeable future here in central North Carolina. So I would say start watering now, North Carolinians. If you got an irrigation system, set it for every other day. Let's start building up some hydration into our grass, because I think it's going to get stressed out a little bit with looking at 88s coming our way. So there you have it. How to seed, break up the pre-emergent air barrier, how velocity is working against the Poa trivialis in a great way, but we also want to replace it with seed. And then also grub control. When's the last time you did it? Are you seeing problems in your lawn? Not to mention, on the back of that bag of Scott's, it's not just for white grubs, armyworms, caterpillars, different types of beetles and bugs that you may want to prevent in your lawn. So I would evaluate that. Do you need to do it? If you don't see a lot of issues, maybe you want to save the $40 for this product and do it on something else, on fungus, on some type of fungicide in the future. But that's what we're doing here in Central North Carolina in my lawn. I'm Mr. Ferguson. Thank you guys so much for watching. God bless you. We'll see you next time.